Hello everyone, Ben here, and in this video I kind of just want to talk a bit about the cost of living crisis that we're experiencing right now, and just kind of my take and perspective on what options there are and how to deal with it and how I'm dealing with it. Because I don't know, I think I've kind of been insulated from a lot of the struggles people are going through because I spent so much time living with my parents, or friends and family, and that's really helped me to reduce the amount of cost that I've had to personally incur. But now I'm living on my own in this apartment, this basement apartment, and so I already knew it was going to be this expensive, and so it's not shocking to me right now, the cost, the things that I'm going to have to pay for on my own. But before I moved out and now, I'm still always thinking about like my future and what I'm going to be able to afford based on the things I want. Like I have the idea of one day um, having kids, but can I afford them? And there are videos where there are people from the older generation trying to explain to the younger generations that if you find somebody and just have kids, you'll figure out the rest. And I understand that you will be forced to figure out a lot when you have kids. Like your brain, I understand that there'll be a brain shift, but they're coming from a different perspective and a different time when there was room for more error. I believe there was more room to make those mistakes and know that, okay, this house that you're starting off to live in, like the idea of starter homes is like still, it's mind-blowing to me that people think it's a good idea to get a starter home. Like if you can get into the housing market, and if you can, and the only way you can is by getting something small, like the fact that you can in the first place get something is already a blessing, because getting in the housing market is difficult. But the idea of getting a starter home means that you're hoping the value of that home is going to go up so that you can eventually buy a bigger property. And so it perpetuates the idea that the prices of things will just keep going up. And then by the time that person or couple are looking for their next home, the price of their first starter home has gone up. And now the people looking for their home to just break into the market is now the price of the second homes. So the price of things with that kind of mentality will just keep going up. And so for me, I thought to myself, I don't really want to just start off in like 300 square foot condo and then hopefully work my way up to a house, because the 300 square foot condos already cost a lot. And so it means you were getting trapped by the housing market. It's a mortgage. It's not a pretty thing. That's not what it is. And so some of the things I'm thinking about to try and combat these, I guess, mental hurdles or actual practical issues of the cost of living crisis is I'm considering what education I need to get, what type of education I need to get so that I can afford a job that will either afford me a home close to the GTA or close to a major city, or even if I get just a decent job, hopefully that job will allow me to pay for the cost of living in a cheaper, probably more rural town while I commute to wherever I'm working, so that I can make good money and afford to save that money for not only me, but my spouse and my kids, and like my kids' future. Like that's the only thing I can think of right now. And it's almost getting to the point I'm I don't want to speculate too much. I mean, what am I speculating about? The thing I'm thinking about is that this is starting to look more and more like a dystopian society kind of thing, where the poor people get shipped in from like far the dirt, and then they get shipped into the cities to do all the work that people need. done still, but those people can't afford, like the people from that got shipped in can't afford to live in that city because it's a city. That's where all the connections, that's all where all the transactions, the meetings take place. And so they can't afford to stay there because the cost of living is just too high, but the work that needs to be done there has to be done by somebody. So I'm fearful that there'll be a greater disconnect in the next. I don't know why I'm smiling. I feel like there'll be a greater disconnect between the rich and the poor over the next few years. And even though I hope that I am one of those people that can afford to live close to the GTA, um, at least talking about it is doing something. People are more aware. And I have thought about getting more involved in my municipality so that the voices of the little people can be made heard. And now that I'm situated in one location and where I think I'm going to be for a while, I can consider that. I do plan on doing more traveling, so I don't know how meaningful my voice will be when I do plan on traveling abroad and considering living abroad, because that's another one of my ideas to afford this cost of living crisis. Like, get skills to get a job that will allow me to work internationally, or education that will allow me to work internationally. So I'm thinking of all the things I can possibly do. While I'm here, though, I'll think about that while I'm also thinking about ways to get out. But yeah, that's what I wanted to share in this video. And if you had anything you wanted to talk about, ideas of things you think I could talk about, or yeah, more just what you'd like to see from me, please leave a comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.